Hey guys, it's Brett. I'm here with my post-burn review of Rose Petals from Homeworx by Harry Slatkin. I did a first impressions unboxing video when I received these two. These were given to me by my mother for my birthday this week. She gave them to me early. She actually ordered them and then let me have them early since she knew I was excited to get them. So I got them about a week and a half ago, I think. Actually, it wasn't this past week, it was a little over a week. And I burned it last week and I just finished it up. I burned it all the way down, so I figured I would do my post-burn review since I finished it all the way down. So I will read the description. It says rose, peony, apple, melon, geranium, and peach. So this one was nice. I did enjoy it. It's pretty much what it says and how I felt on cold when I did my first impressions. Pretty much I feel the same with what I said there when burning, with the exception of the fruit. The fruit on cold, I could kind of get that a little bit way in the background, like especially like the apple and maybe just a little bit of the peach. But when burning, those didn't come out as much to me. When I burned, it basically was pretty much just a typical rose scent, just a basic rose scent, nothing too extravagant or anything as far as like the rose scent, just a simple rose scent. And then you did get that peony in there too. The peony was mixed in with the rose scent, predominantly rose, but then a little bit of peony mixed in there. It says geranium. You can maybe just get a little bit kind of that in there. But it doesn't really have like a super green note really. It's mostly just the floral. I had mentioned that it was similar to Fresh Cut Roses from Yankee Candle, except that it didn't have the green note that had. That one did have the green note, this one didn't really. It's just pretty much just rose and peony. When burning, that fruit, the apple and peach, melon, none of that really came through for me when I was burning it. It's mostly just that rose scent with a little bit of peony. It kind of is a little bit soapy, like body care soapy, kind of like. It's a good, nice rose scent though. It's pleasing, it's pleasant. It's, if you just want a simple rose scent and you don't mind, like, you know, other than rose, just a little bit of that peony mixed in there. So it's not completely rose, that peony makes it just a little bit different, but it's predominantly rose. So if you want just a simple, good rose scent and not much more, you probably like this. If you're wanting more of the fruit mixed in there with it, you might be disappointed because some of his other florals that have had fruit mixed in when they're, like I said in my first impressions video, have the fruit came out a lot more than it does in this. Some people wanted more of that fruit to come out in here. I could have went either way. Sometimes the fruit and the flower scents are okay, and sometimes I kind of just want more of just the floral. But this one, yeah, just simply rose. Just a really nice, pleasing rose scent. It wasn't too, like I said in my impressions video as well, it's not too old lady, granny-like rose to me. Even though it does have that soapy note in there, it's not like too much. It doesn't like, you know, it doesn't gag you like, oh, I gotta put that out. It's just too much rose scent. It's nice, but without being a little too much, which I'll talk about that when I talk about the throw. So next we'll talk about the burn. It's finished, as you can see here, burned all the way down. It put itself out. These two wicks here in the middle with the little rings around them, these two on the side went out first, and then these two here stayed going forever. I didn't think they were ever gonna go out. They just kept going and they were just going and going and going. That's why it burned down further around those rings there, because those two just kept going and the other two went out sooner. So it burned really good at first. The first half was really good. Flames were nice and strong. They formed just a little bit of mushroom tops on the top. Not super huge mushroom tops, just a little bit. And then I always trim the little mushroom tops off before each burn, because in my experience, otherwise I get black smoke coming off the flames if I don't do that. So I did that before each burn. Had no problems with it, burned perfectly to the halfway point. Then at the halfway point, the flames did get a little bit smaller. which has been my experience with most of the 4-wicks, and I really hoped it wasn't going to do that with these, because I'd heard some people say that these new ones for the spring summer ones have been better, but my experience, it did get a little small. It wasn't full-on puny wicks, but it was a lot smaller, and the flame, it didn't light up the candle as bright as it did the first half. The candle was a little bit, it didn't light it up as much, and they were definitely smaller, and in turn it wasn't growing as strong either when the flames weren't as high. I did end up cotton balling it a couple of times to get those flames back up, and then it did better when I did do that, but then I had to do it a couple of times after that. I think I did like 2 or 3 times. Then towards the very end, the flames started getting a little bit better. The very end, when it's towards the last burn, 1 or 2 burns, the kind of flames started getting a little bit stronger, and it started burning a little bit better towards the very end. And even though there is a little bit of wax down here, you can kind of see one of the clips here, the wick clips right there, you can kind of see that. You can't see any of the other wick clips. With the 3 wicks, sometimes they burn all the way down. You can totally see the wick clips. And I've seen some people have been burning these 4 wicks, and they have been going all the way down to the wick clips, but mine here just barely could see this one. The other ones you can't see because there's wax on top of them still, even after the flames went out. So yeah, the burn, the flames did get small, and then in turn it didn't throw as strong for me. So that was kind of upsetting, because I may have trimmed them just a little bit too short at that midpoint at one time, so that could have maybe attributed to the flames being smaller. But the thing is, with the 3 wicks from last spring and summer, you could trim those as short as you would want to, and you would never have to worry about them getting smaller, puny, or anything. They would, even if you did trim it way too short, it would correct itself and pop back right back up in like an hour or so, and you never had to worry about that. But with these 4 wicks, you have to be super careful with that. You can't trim them too much, because then, you know, it's just a mess. But you got to trim them a little bit. And some people say they don't trim them at all, which I can't do that, because whenever I do that, I just see smoke coming off them. So I have to trim them. I don't know how people are not trimming them and not getting smoke coming off their flames, but in my experience, every time I don't trim them at all, and these are the wicks that curl a little bit, if you don't trim them, it's that you can see the smoke coming off the flame for me. But so I have to trim them at least a little bit. But yeah, you have to be just really careful with these 4 wicks. So these, I don't know, the wicks are different, I guess, and the wick clips, I don't know, they're just different than the 3 wicks were. You have to baby them more, you have to be more careful with them. I still am team 3 wick. I would love to bring back those wicks, the flames and the wick clips and the wicks. Those burn perfectly, I love them. I would have no problem with going back to 3 wicks. Even though it takes a little bit longer to pull out, they just burn so much better. The ones that he had, wherever they were made, if you in the USA, different wick clips, different wicks, whatever they were perfect. He needs to bring those back. So yeah. Anyway, so now we will talk about the throw. The throw was really good. The first half, it was probably easily 8 to 8.5. Could even kind of went up to a little bit towards 9 a little bit. In my open concept area, filled it up no problem at all. I even smelled it all the way down the hallway. I was in my master bathroom way at the back of the house, and I had it in the living room and way back in my master bathroom. I could smell it wafting all the way back there. So yeah, it threw really well up in my open concept area, no problems. I didn't even put this in the bedroom until the last half, because I knew it was probably gonna be way too strong in there, because it was filling up this whole open concept area really good. But then when it got to the halfway point and those flames got a little bit smaller, the throw decreased for me. I definitely couldn't smell it as well as I could when those flames were strong and it was lighting up the whole candle really bright. When the flames, the halfway point got smaller, the candle got a little bit dimmer, didn't light up as much, and it didn't throw as well. It probably dropped down to like I wanna say maybe a 7.5, somewhere around there. It definitely decreased a lot more than what it was when the flames were high. And even towards the end, when they kind of started getting stronger, it still wasn't as strong as it was the first half. I actually moved it to the bedroom in the last part of it, and even the bedroom was a little bit lighter. It was, you know, of course, a little stronger than it was out here. It was probably like, you know, 7 to 7.5 in the bedroom. When I had it out here, it could probably go down like 6.5 or so. it definitely decreased in the throw on the second half, so that was kind of disappointing too. But like I said, in my experience, when the flames are super high all the way through the candle, the flames stay high. It looks prettier because it brightens the whole thing up really bright because those flames are so strong, and then because the flames are so strong, it gets even hotter, and then it throws the scent out even better. So that's why the first half with those flames were perfect. It was throwing so good. The second half when the flames weren't as strong, it just decreased the throw. So yeah, that's my review for Rose Petals from Homeworx by Harry Slatkin. I really hoped the wicks were going to do better for me than the 4 wicks from this fall and the winter, but this one was kind of the same. They weren't, like I said, it wasn't super puny wick syndrome, but they were definitely smaller on the second half than they were the first half, which kind of was similar to like Bath & Body Works, how Bath & Body Works will get kind of peter out at the halfway point in the burn, and it gets kind of darker and doesn't throw as strong. That's kind of what this did, except it wasn't full-on puny wick syndrome, but the flames definitely were smaller, and it just kind of, the second half wasn't near as good as the first half was. I really wish the candle would have been as good as the first half was, and then I would have totally 100% loved it. Did really love the scent, the performance wasn't as good on this one anyway, for me. All right, so thanks for watching. Check it out, the Rose Petals from Homeworx by Harry Slatkin. If you want to try it out, I'll put a link below where you can go on the QVC website and you will be able to purchase them if you're interested in trying it. But the scent is really good. I did enjoy the scent. It was a really nice, pleasing rose petal scent. So thanks for watching, and I will talk to y'all in our next video. Bye.